stop scrolling right now. If you think you know what power creep looks like, you are completely wrong. The leaks for version 4.1 just dropped, and Ashveil isn't just a new hunt character. He is a mistake. I am not joking. I have looked at the V1 beta numbers, I have done the math, and what Hoyoverse is doing with this detective character is actually illegal. We are talking about a unit that can hit a 2300% damage multiplier in a single rotation. That is double an Acheron slash. That is 3 times a Feixiao X. But here's the problem, and this is the part that should scare you. Version 4.1 is rumored to be a shortened patch, only 4 weeks long. That means less jades, less time to save, and a massive trap waiting for free-to-play players. If you spend your jades wrong here, your account is cooked. So today, we are exposing everything. The Gluttony stacks, the Monkey Assistant, and the real reason why Ashveil might actually be the death of the current meta. Let's cut the fluff and look at his kit, because this is where things get confusing. Ashveil is a lightning hunt character, but do not let that fool you. He does not play like Sealy, and he certainly does not play like Dr. Ratio. He is what I call a support in disguise. It all starts with his skill. When he uses his skill, he marks an enemy as bait. This is the most broken part of his kit. Just by this bait mark existing on the field, every single enemy, not just the marked one, loses 40% defense. Read that again. Pella needs an ultimate to do this. Silverwolf needs to hit a specific target. Ashveil does it by just standing there. This means even if his damage was 0, he would still be a tier 0 unit, because that 40% defense shred scales your entire team's damage to the moon. But his damage is not 0. It is actually disgusting. Here's the loop you need to understand. He has a mechanic called charges and gluttony. When the battle starts, he has charges. When your teammates hit the enemy marked as bait, Ashveil shoots them with a follow-up attack. This consumes a charge. But here's the trick. When Ashveil shoots them, he gains a stack of gluttony. Think of gluttony like loading a shotgun shell. You want to stack this as high as possible, all the way up to 12 stacks. Why do you need 12 stacks? Because of his ultimate. This is the nuke button. When you press his ultimate, he deals 500% damage immediately, but then he triggers an enhanced follow-up attack. This consumes your gluttony stacks. For every 4 stacks of gluttony you have, he deals an extra 600% damage. If you have max stacks, that's a 3,380% multiplier. To put that in perspective, that's enough to one-shot almost any boss phase in the game, including the new apocalyptic shadow bosses. And the best part? If the enemy dies during this combo, the damage transfers to the next enemy. He isn't just single target, he's a pseudo AoE monster who resets his targeting like Sealy, but with way bigger numbers. Now, we have to address the elephant in the room, the question that is terrifying every Feixiao main right now. Did Ashveil just power creep the general? Did he end the Feixiao meta before it even started? The answer is complicated. Stop thinking of them as rivals. They are best friends. Ashveil provides the one thing Feixiao was missing: consistent defense shred and off-turn triggers. Feixiao attacks fast. This triggers Ashveil's charges. Ashveil shoots back. This gives Feixiao stacks. It is an infinite loop of death. If you have Feixiao, you almost have to pull Ashveil. They are the Exodia composition of version 4.1. However, there is a catch. Ashveil is Lightning Hunt. Do you know who else is a follow-up support? That's right, Topaz. If you have a fully built Topaz, Ashveil is basically Topaz on steroids. Topaz gives a 50% damage vulnerability. Ashveil gives 40% defense shred, massive personal damage, and adaptability. In a high-investment team, defense shred scales better than vulnerability. So, if you skipped Topaz, you absolutely must pull Ashveil. If you have Feixiao, you should pull Ashveil. But it is not all sunshine and rainbows. We need to talk about the red flags. Ashvale has a massive energy cost. We are talking 160 max energy. That is expensive. That is Argenti levels of heavy. If you do not run him with a battery like the rumored Sunday support or Huohuo, you might struggle to get that 3000% nuke consistently. This is where Hoyoverse traps you. They create a problem and then they sell you the solution. Let's look at his Eidolons because this is where the scam begins. His E1 makes enemies take 24% increased damage. If they're low HP, that jumps to 36%. This is basically giving him a free light cone. But his E2, this is the bait. E2 increases max gluttony from 12 to 18. If you get E2, his multiplier goes from 2300% to nearly 4000%. This is whale bait. Do you need it? No. Is it funny to see big numbers? Yes, but do not fall for it unless you have unlimited money. Here's the real scam though, the patch duration. Leaks confirm 4.1 is only 4 weeks long. That means less daily commissions, less events, and less jades. If you are F2P, you have to choose Ashvale or the rumored characters coming in 4.2. If you pull Ashvale, you might be leaving yourself with 0 jades for the next meta support. Now, let's talk about team building. Who does the detective need to solve the case? You have a few options. The best premium teammate is obviously Feixiao or the leaked sub-DPS Cypher. If the leaks about Cypher are true, their synergy is perfect because Cypher attacks fast enough to drain Ashvale's charges instantly. For support, you need Action Advance. Ashvale has no speed buffs in his base kit. He is slow. You need Robin to drag him forward or Sunday to feed him energy. Without them, he feels clunky. For sustain, Aventurine is the king. Aventurine does follow-up attacks, which gives Ashvale charges. It's a no-brainer. But can you play him F2P? Yes. You can pair him with March 7th, the Hunt. She is free. She attacks fast. She builds stacks. You can also use Mose. Mose disappears, leaving Ashvale to tank, which might not be ideal, but the damage will be insane. Just remember, if you don't have at least one fast-attacking teammate, Ashvale's value drops by 30%. He is useless alone. We also need to look at his light cone. The leaks say it gives 18% crit rate and a stacking attack buff that also ignores defense. It is good, but is it necessary? Honestly, the Hunt path has amazing free-to-play options. If you have the Herda-Store light cone or even sword play, you are going to be fine. Do not waste your jades on the weapon banner if you are low on funds. Save for the character. Let's look at the gameplay rotation because this is where people will mess up. You always want to use his skill first to apply the bait. Never use his ultimate unless the bait is active, or you lose the defense shred. You also want to time his ultimate so that you have at least 8 to 12 gluttony stacks. If you fire his ultimate with 0 stacks, you are doing 0 damage. It requires brain power. You have to count stacks like you are playing a card game. Also, look at his traces. One of his traces gives the entire team 40% crit damage, just for existing. This is why I say he is a support. He buffs crit damage, he shreds defense, and he does damage. He is basically 3 characters in one. This power creep is concerning for the health of the game. If every new DPS also acts as a harmony unit, what happens to our actual harmony units? So, the final verdict? Is Ashvale just insanely broken? Yes, he does main DPS damage while providing harmony level debuffs. That is the definition of power creep. He future-proofs your account, because even if his damage falls off in 2 years, his defense shred will always be good. My advice is simple. If you like big numbers, pull. If you main follow-up attack teams, you must pull. But if you are saving for a waifu, or if you are waiting for the Fate Stay Night collaboration, you need to stay strong. Looking at these animations though, I think I am swiping my card. I will be streaming my polls day 1. If I lose the 50-50, I might actually delete my account. Comment down below, are you skipping or are you cooked? Subscribe right now so you don't miss the build guide when he releases. I'll see you in 4.1.